Welcome to my iMPACT review, coming from the UK, baby. This was a very good show. I have been very impressed with how TNA has been doing their shows in the UK. I wish they would do this more in the United States. But let's see what we got here. We're going to do the matches first. The match that I was surprised about. Bad Influence versus Bromance versus the Wolves. Now, Bromance went to Robert Roode and said, look, we want to be a part of lockdown. He said, you want it, you got to earn it. You versus Bad Influence and the Wolves. If Bad Influence wins, I choose them. If you win, I choose you. If the Wolves win, I don't choose neither of y'all. Forget you. So the match was not bad. It was nice to see the Wolves. But then I'm going like, why? I can understand to a point why TNA decided not to let the tag championships turn from Bad Influence to the Wolves on regular television. Maybe they thought we didn't have enough time. Maybe they thought that the Wolves didn't need to have to win on television. But I do believe they should have won on television. And they should have destroyed Bad Influence in the process. That's just my feeling. If they allowed them to win it at a house show, but not be allowed to show it, really for me just didn't feel right. But I understand if they did it because of those types of reasons. So in the end, Bromance is the one that won. Bromance. If they have something going on with Bad Influence the week before lockdown, I understand it. If they got nothing for them to do, then I think that was the most stupidest decision TNA could have made. But there might be something going on that we don't know of. So I'm going to leave it at that and I'm not going to really push it. The next match is EC3 versus Douglas Williams, who I was glad to see. But how many months has it been since we've seen Douglas? The British Invasion man with Magnus. How long has it been? 6 months at least? Now it's possible he's in the UK, or maybe he was only working house shows and they didn't put him on the show. You guys can tell me below. Maybe he wasn't working at TNA now, and now just for this one night they allowed him to come in and get paid. I like to know it. He did a decent job, but in the end, EC3 won. He needed to win because of what he was dealing with Kurt Angle. And I'm going to get Kurt Angle over right now. How can I explain this with Kurt Angle in the Hall of Fame? I know Kurt Angle could be a douche. I'm sorry, he is. He may not be a 100% bad guy, but in certain cases, if you know what happened with the Off the Rope show, where the guy was supposed to get a plaque showing he's in another Hall of Fame and did not show up, he can be a douche. But in this case, when he was talking to the UK crowd, I felt that was a shoot. Because he was willing to admit he needed to get clean. Personally and professionally, he was not doing well. And I needed to get clean. I wish they had done this when he came back. When he said I wasn't getting into the Hall of Fame because I'm not ready, I'm not good enough. If he had admitted he had an addiction problem, would have made a lot more fans happier in my humble perspective. To me personally, hearing him say early, I can't go into the Hall of Fame. I just came back from a rehab. I have a problem. I don't believe I'm worthy enough. Saying I'm just not worthy enough because I'm not good enough as a performer isn't enough for me. But I can say when he got his Hall of Fame wristwatch from Jeremy Borage was not bad at all. I did enjoy his segment. At first when EC3 came out, I thought maybe this might not be the most wisest thing to do. Until that segment after that, when they're talking about his knee being messed up, and pretty much he said, both parts of my leg are fine. Do you actually believe this is the right thing to do to be in this ring with me? I felt was not bad. So I'm actually interested in seeing this feud between him and EC3. But like I said with Sting, EC3 must eventually be put over. They need him to be put over. They do. Now if he's put over by Kurt Angle at least once or twice, I'll have no real problem with that. Kurt Angle doesn't need more. He's got enough. So, moving on to the Gunner and Storm segment and fights. Yes! I'll say this to you, ladies and gentlemen. I was concerned about how TNA might have been dropping one of them turning heel. I wasn't sure which one they were going to turn heel. I knew they had to. But when they were acting so nice with him, I felt they're giving it up. I actually was fooled enough to believing that they gave up trying to turn one of them heel because they felt it wasn't the right thing to do. So I was glad last week to see it. And I'm glad to see this segment in the ring. And Storm did very good trying to piss off Gunner, saying, you ain't nothing. The military is bullshit. They don't mean shit. And he said, oh, yeah, really? If I didn't go in the military and sacrifice along with my friends, you wouldn't be able to drink no damn beer the way you do. I enjoyed that line from Gunner. He did very well. And then the fight in the back with the trucks were not bad. But I believe the most important thing was when the gate came down and they were facing one another. That is where they really made their mark there. That's what made me interested in this feud. Because before that, I was really not caring that much. Now I'm very interested in seeing where they're going to go with Gunner and Storm. Using the military in Gunner's past was the right thing to do. It is. So Storm now has to play off being like anti-war, which a lot of people always can identify with. I personally, I'll say this. You don't have to agree with war, but it does happen. The one thing that anyone shouldn't forget, no matter if you agree with the person or disagree with the person to join the military, they made that choice. And at least you should respect them even if you don't like the choice. That's just me. And that's what is coming across for me personally. And I like that. I want to see what's going to happen. I think they're going to have a steel cage match as well. So I'm hoping this is going to be good. Now the match that I didn't really like. Gail Kim and Velvet Sky versus Leda Tapa and the Alpha Female. Now I don't know if the Alpha Female has been signed yet or not. I haven't even checked the website to see if she's on the roster. I am hoping she is because we need more blood. Look. Velvet Sky is a good looking woman. If she was next to me naked, I would be happy to have her. Gail Kim and ODB, if they were butt naked in front of me, I'll be happy to have them. Leda Tapa, even Madison Rayne, who is at the bottom of the barrel, if they were naked in front of me, I'll be glad to have them. But it does not mean I'm interested in them in this respect. In the respect that Leda Tapa and this Alpha Female, and I believe I saw her in Shine one time, I cannot accept the fact that TNA let these two smaller women kick these women in the stomach and in their legs multiple times to bring them down. Now you may say that's a pretty good thing to do because they're much bigger than them. But they sold it too much for me. I'm sorry. Seeing Leda Tapa sell so much pissed me off. And then, even though Sabin is there and it's good to see a male working with females, I don't have a problem seeing Sabin work in the knockouts. It's a nice change. But having Gail Kim and him help Tapa to win is bullshit. Tapa should not have to struggle with Velvet Sky, with ODB, and professionally, Madison fucking Rayne. Madison Rayne is smaller than any of those women. And she had to struggle with her? Are you seriously kidding me? I didn't buy this. It was bullshit. I didn't like it. So I'm hoping that they'll understand they don't need to do that to Leda Tapa no more. That was dumb. Now, some of the smaller things I'm going to talk about. Abyss. Who is he coming back with? When you see Eric Young and the little segment, I didn't get a chance to see the TNA Impact which talked about Abyss going away. Saying I'm going to get help for this. But it's obvious he's coming back with a manager. Now the question is, who is that? Who are they going to have his manager as? I have no clue who would be the best person to manage him. Because he needs it. He's been Joseph Park too long. And now that they turned him into the Abyss, to get him kick-started again, they need something new. So having a manager is the wisest thing to do. Next, Samuel Shaw. Oh, I am very interested in seeing this feud between him and Anderson. Seeing him deal with Christy Hemme, and oh, Christy Hemme is so good looking. Oh, she's hot. I am not bored with this feud. I am so happy to see someone way better and way darker than Bully Ray. Bully Ray is not even holding a candle to Samuel Shaw right now and doing this work. He's doing good. Doesn't mean I hate Bully Ray. It's just that his sucked. So having him face Anderson is a great idea. I love seeing Samuel Shaw choke the shit out of an Anderson. That gives us even more to be interested in when it comes to Lockdown. Now here's two people that I'm curious to see how they're going to bring back. Well, one bring back and two bring in. Willow, which we know is Jeff Hardy. I'm interested in seeing, is Jeff Hardy as Willow going to do different techniques in the ring? If he does the same old shit, it's not going to be that good, because not only are people already going to notice that it's him, that he's not trying to hide it. And as a mass performer, he needs to change himself so he'd be more interesting, unless he's trying to do Hulk Hogan as Mr. America. But he ain't no Hulk Hogan. Now here it is Tiger Ono. Uno or Ono. I don't know who the hell that is. You guys can tell me below who you believe it is or who you know it is. If it's Sin Cara, the original one, Mystico, might be the wisest thing for him to do. He didn't do well in WWE at all. So coming to TNA might be the wisest thing to do. That's if it's him. I don't know if it is. I don't think it is. But you guys tell me below. I hope it is. So I'll be interested in seeing these two new guys. They're really trying to ramp up, bringing TNA back from the brink of destruction because of mismanagement. And let's see, am I forgetting anything here? No. The only thing left to talk about will be MVP versus Robert Roode. Now, everyone has been bidding for Austin Aries, which is a wise thing to do. Austin really gives a very strong flavor that is unmistakable in wrestling. So MVP and Robert Roode trying to bid for him was actually a wise thing. Both segments were quite good. So when he became the ref for the match, I thought this might be very interesting, unless they're going to make it stupid. But when he came out in those trunks, what the fuck? I know he wears his trunks to the ring, but he looked weird with his legs like that in that ref shirt. He looked like a scrawny little pipsqueak, and he's not scrawny. Austin Aries is not scrawny. He's the greatest man to ever live. You don't make Austin Aries look scrawny. But he did. And in the end, the match wasn't bad. And when Austin Aries did a meniscus forearm to the face of MVP, we now knew that he is on Robert Roode's side. So what does this mean for us? We're going to get a very interesting matches going into Lockdown. I am very interested in seeing Lockdown. How do I rate this show? Actually, very good. This was a very good show. I didn't like the tag team match of the Knockouts. I'm not going to lie about it. Tappa should not have to struggle against smaller women. She was bigger than the alpha female. I'm sorry, she's the biggest woman there. The only person I could say that has to give her a challenge is either alpha female if she joins, or ODB. And that's stretching with ODB because she's not a big woman either. Even though those boobies are so nice and big and anybody would think juicy, no matter if you're a man or woman, she shouldn't give her that much trouble. But I can say even with that, I didn't like it. It still was a great show. So I hope you enjoyed this Zane's View. Give me a comment below how you feel. And I might actually be doing a SmackDown review. I have some stuff to do today, so I don't know if I'll be able to get it out today. But I will try to do it. So you guys have a good day.